Hi, this is Cheryl Zwalji from Astral Connections, and here with me I have Brenda Blindenbach. She's a Theta Healing instructor and business mindset coach. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, you did. Good for you.
Thank you. Welcome, Brenda. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here. So Brenda's going to be with us here, and she's going to talk about mistakes healers make. Is that right?
3 massive mistakes.
Massive mistakes. Do you want to tell the audience a little bit about the types of mistakes, or?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Well, you know, holistic...
Without giving away your talk, of course.
Right. But holistic practitioners and healers have such great, big hearts. They want to help everybody, and they...
Oh, I know where you're going with this already.
Yeah, and so, of course, you know, they... one of the things that they do is they want to help everybody, and so they are not, their specific audience, their tribe, ends up becoming very broad. And then because they feel, oh, if I narrow it down, then I'm going to
Help less people.
Help less people. They want to bring everybody on board. So, but what happens is then your message is too broad, and you're speaking like generally to somebody, and the people really don't get you. They don't really get the message. The message becomes diluted. So I talk a little bit more about that and how to avoid it, and what to do about it, and how to narrow your niche market. Because when I'm saying communicating the message, it's not just talking like I'm talking to you, but it's in everything that we do, on your website, in your sales letter, your newsletter, your video, your audio. You know, you're communicating this, right? So it has to be very narrow.
Very focused.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
so tell us a little bit about Brenda then. Tell me about your childhood a little bit.
Okay. Well, when I was in school, one of the things that I did when I was actually in a boarding school, I played with my friends, and I most often play-rolled, a doctor or a nurse, and I would get my friends sitting down or lying down. I'd take their temperature and bind their wounds, and take their pulse, make them happy and whole, and give them aspirin. Not really, but pretend. And so from a very young age, I sort of knew on a subconscious level that this is the direction I would go. And so when I graduated, I went to the UK, and I...
Where were you, in India?
Yes.
You were in India?
Yeah.
Oh, so then when you took someone's pulse, you would know whether someone was pregnant right away.
Not when I was that young. It would have been great if I did. Yeah. But so I went to the UK, and I trained to be a laboratory technologist, and I specialized in microbiology. And so when I finished that, I emigrated to Canada, and I worked at a large hospital here in Vancouver, and ended up teaching the students the practical aspects of microbiology.
So that VGH?
Actually with St. Paul's.
St. Paul's, okay,
yeah.
Excellent.
And so after a time, after about 15 years or so, I actually changed direction, and I went into the alternative field.
What made you do that?
Just somehow there was something that I knew was more than the allopathic traditional medicine, through a whole set of little synchronicities. And then I trained to be an aromatherapist, and then became an instructor. And at the same time, I started my business. And then I was asked to teach aromatherapy certification to doctors and nurses, and actually even a few surgeons in Korea.
Wow.
So I did that for 5 years, and at the same time I also taught certification courses at Kwantlen University. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So so I had a very
busy life.
Yeah, thriving business. So while this was happening, I was introduced to Deepak Chopra's work, which I loved, and of course through him, I got in touch with Mind-Body Connection, Ayurveda, and best
Did you
of all.
actually meet him? Or?
Yes, I took lots of courses from him.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
wonderful.
So, and then of course, it was instrumental for me, learning about this to expand my field. And so I went into vibrational medicine, DNA, quantum physics, and so
and
on.
Theta healing.
And theta healing.
Right.
So that's
So
what
was it Vienna Stabile that you did the
the
theta healing with?
with. Yeah, she's the founder.
Right.
Yes. So right now I'm
But did you take the course with her or with a
no.
trainer? under
Well,
her?
I am a practitioner plus an instructor. So an instructor has to take it from Vienna.
Vienna, that's
Yes,
right, yeah.
yes. So that was great because she wants to keep the program nice and pure so that
Right.
everybody is taught the same thing by her.
Right.
So if you want to be an instructor, you've got to take it from her.
Okay.
So at this, while this was happening, as I said, my
So then you can see inside my body.
well, we do body scans. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So while this was happening, I had a thriving business. My husband actually was an accountant, and he did the business aspect, the administrative work, and left me free to do what I loved best, which was to teach and to coach and do research.
Right.
And I was actually ready to take my business to the next level. And then about 4 years ago, my husband asked me for a separation.
Okay.
And of course, which just devastated me.
you.
Absolutely. I was, I felt really let down, disappointed. I was angry. I went through the whole gamut of emotions, I felt betrayed and angry. And while this was all going on, all of a sudden, I realized, my goodness, I don't know anything about running a business, because he was my business manager, and of course he wasn't going to be doing it anymore. So it brought up so much fear that actually it was a phobia. I got major panic attacks.
Oh no.
I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I lost weight, I had, my heart palpitations. I cried at the drop of a hat. I went into major depression. So much so that I knew that if I didn't shift that,
Right.
I would have a nervous breakdown.
Right.
There was no doubt in it.
But you knew, your body or you yourself knew that a change was inevitable.
Yes, absolutely. But I was in such a fog, and I was in such on an emotional roller coaster, in such turmoil that I couldn't see straight. I was in a fog. I kept thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And actually, the answer was right there before me, but I couldn't see it. And then all of a sudden, I thought, I do have the answers. I've been teaching people, hundreds of people all over the world about, whatever is happening on the inside, your internal environment.
Affects the outside.
Outside, exactly. So then, of course, I thought, well, I've got to
Go back inside.
go back inside, do the work, let go of these beliefs and the emotions that are causing me to be in this state, and which I did. And then the panic attacks stopped, and I started to, do better, slept better, eat better, and the fog lifted.
Right.
And I was able literally to see the answers, because the fog was stopping
Yeah,
it
of course.
from me seeing it. And then I just took the steps that were there, little baby steps.
And one thing leads to
to
another.
another.
Of
Yeah.
course. In this
And the very first thing was that I knew I had to do something about my business. I had to take responsibility for my own business.
Right.
To a big extent, I had left that responsibility to my husband. Even
Right.
though because that was his
Passion,
genius,
yeah.
and it wasn't mine. But I really left it all to him. And so now I started to take the responsibility back, and went and learned about business. It was, I'm telling you, difficult. It was a major learning curve.
Yeah.
But out of that, now I'm at a place that I can help
Yeah.
other practitioners and healers to do the
Build
same.
their business.
Exactly.
Because you've been there and done that.
Right, right. And I'm thinking there's always, there's always a good, a blessing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Of course, when you're broken and fix yourself,
Right.
then now you know the formula to fix anything, anywhere, right?
Right. So there's always a blessing, right? Even with any crisis that comes our way, we've got to just take time to look and see what it is.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.